Wall Street. Do it right, build wealth, live life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. It's on the new Black Wall Street. Here's your host.
Well, top of the morning to you beautiful people. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the new Black Wall Street Book Club, where Black folk do read. You put in a book like The Wealth Choice by Dr. Dennis Kimbro, which we'll be going through here today, and we absolutely will find it. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, The Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. The book that I wrote, guys, is a study of Black wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, that's a big if, by the way. As I've been teaching about money for a long time, I realize everybody ain't interested in being financially free. But if you are, I recommend that you study wealthy people. Well, you can get your copy by simply going to the website, theblackbillionairesclub.com. That's right, theblackbillionairesclub.com. Pick up your copy today. Now, while you're there, guys, not only is it a book that's available to you, but it's also an opportunity for you to connect with brothers and sisters who are serious about building wealth and building business. That would be the Black Billionaires Club. Yes, we do have a club. It's a paid membership for you to connect with like-minded people. If you so wish, you need help getting to any one of those two places that we focus on. Again, theblackbillionairesclub.com. You can find the book, ebook, all that good stuff as well. Then there's a tab that says join the club. If you want to connect with brothers and sisters to help you take your dreams, your goals, and aspirations and get there, very efficiently, okay? We can help you to do that. Well, thanks so much for joining us here today, man. Love to find out who is joining us here this morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. We're going to be hopping into this thing in just a moment. Hit the like button and share button if you care. Like button and share button if you care. Also, let us know where you're connecting from. What city, what state, what country, what city, what state, what country. We are global at this point as we're broadcasting across the World Wide Web into Facebook and also YouTube. And I know there's some people over on IG that were asking me, said, hey, when you going to bring it back to IG? So I got to go get me a little thing to hold up my phone and all that stuff. I'll be back on IG tomorrow. Today we'll be finishing up chapter 1 of The Wealth Choice, okay? And so if you are a person that's saying, you like what we're doing here and you do want to support, this movement, Reading Rainbow 2.0, if you're on Facebook, there's a little button down there that says support. You can actually, make your contribution on a regular basis to help us to continue to bring this content for our community. Just hit the support button and you can do that as well. So let's find out who is here. I'm broadcasting from our virtual studio here in Decatur, Georgia. That's right, Decatur, Georgia. And I'm just super amazed, man, that I'm reaching people. I mean, I'm reaching people in Germany. I just had somebody hit me up from Serbia. I'm like, what is going on? International player from the Himalaya. And that's the thing, guys. This thing called money wealth, it has no color. It's green or gold or silver or platinum or something like that. I don't know. But it's valuable to people all over the world. That's right. All over the world. Good morning to your brother Sydney is in the house. Thanks so much for joining us today. Queen Jennifer Almnor has joined us as well. Grand Rising to you. Zakia is in the house, man, out of Florida. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the new Black Wall Street Book Club. Queen Vivian is joined us out of Brooklyn is here. Shiro out of Florida as well. Miss Miss Robertson is here. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the new Black Wall Street Book Club. Miss Ross. Ross is a boss is in here as well. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Now, I will say we'll be finishing up here Reading Rainbow 2.0, and it is Wednesday, by the way, so happy Black Woman Wednesday. We do have a presentation this evening at 8 o'clock paying our tributes, our praise, our adulation, and our honor to the Black woman here tonight, so make sure you don't want to miss that, okay? So we'll get right into this thing here as we are continuing our journey. What up, Mr. Martin? Martin, Jonah here is in the house, man. Thanks for joining us here today as well. We're going to continue our journey into the wealth choice, okay? Everybody put in console, I Choose Wealth, The Wealth Choice. It's a book written by Dr. Dennis Kimbro, Success Secrets of Black Millionaires, which you can find by going to his website. Support a brother there at www.denniskimbro.com, www.denniskimbro.com. And we are finishing. We're going to get into our space here as we're talking about winning the war on poverty. Winning the war on poverty. So we got 3 subsections left here. We'll finish this up here today, and then we'll be done with chapter 1, and we'll pick up on chapter 2 tomorrow. We started this section yesterday, and I'm going to just recap because we got some points that are coming from Mr. Brown's mother, which led him to a space that, although he might have been in a physical place of poverty, he wasn't there in the spiritual place, and ultimately the spiritual outweighed the physical. And he rose up from the ashes like a phoenix in the sun, from poverty to wealth. How to win the war on poverty. New Black Wall Street Book Club. Let's read. The greatest fallacy known to humanity is the necessity of poverty. Far too many have succumbed to erroneous notion that some of us are destined to be rich while others, conversely, are preordained to be poor. Nothing could be further from the truth. Poverty or want or lack have never commanded a place in the Creator's plan for humanity. The Almighty never placed the vast multitudes on earth in order that we, you and I, haggle over a limited supply. There need not be a poor person on the planet. The earth is replete with resources that we have yet to tap. As a result, we grow comfortable with our lack in the midst of prosperity and opportunity. Financial riches are lying everywhere. Everybody put in console, everywhere. Financial riches are lying everywhere, waiting for the observant to discover them. Wealth begins in the mind, and those who are hostile to it will never possess it. Seated on the edge of his bed, Brown's mother shared her impressions and knowledge of wealth and poverty. Though life as a have-not as was all she had ever known, she told her son that wealth would forever elude his grasp until he came to grips with the root cause of poverty. She admonished her son to incorporate the following thoughts into his spirit. So we're going to say, hey, Miss Brown is speaking to us through him today, her thoughts for us to incorporate into our spirit. Number 1, be an optimist. Seize the moment. Live today to the fullest. Whatever good you desire is yours, but you must stretch forth your hand and take it. Success occurs by choice, not by chance. Life has no limits except the boundaries that you set. That was the first admonition from Miss Brown to her son. Although she was a have-not, she was giving him the keys to have. Be an optimist, seize the moment, live today to the fullest. Whatever good you desire is yours, but you must stretch forth your hand and take it. Success occurs by choice, not by chance. Life has no limits except the boundaries that you set. Now, I think what I'm going to do is tomorrow, I'm not going to start chapter 2. I'm actually going to go back through these admonitions in depth, because I think some of us may be struggling with some of these a little bit, right? Being an optimist. Look at the bright side of life. The good things are supposed to happen to me. Right? Seize the moment. The moment today is all that I really have. Okay, I probably need to wait till tomorrow. Let's get through the reading, and then tomorrow we'll come back and we'll do a review. Admonition number 2. We've been blessed by a mighty God who is a gentle heart. If this were not so, you and I would have been gone a long time ago. Blessings occur each and every day in ways that we rarely notice. God exists within each of us. We should all share a common humanity. Love yourself, whatever faults you possess, and love the world, no matter how bad it seems. Be grateful not for the hardship, but for the character it built in you. Every challenge provides you with the opportunity to rise above your circumstances. Each of us is far richer than we realize. You and I are better than we've ever dreamed. Everybody put in console, rise above. Rise above. What's going on, Miss Audrey? I haven't seen you in a while. Grand Rising, thanks so much for joining us. Admonition number 3 from a mother to her son. Manhood can never be given, only earned. Your greatest strength is the power of your example. Manhood, and I would also say womanhood, can never be given, only earned. Your greatest strength is the power of your example. Everybody put also the power of my example. What are you leaving behind? What example are you setting for yourself, for your children, for the community? The power of your example. Matter of fact, does your example command millions and millions of dollars? You know what I'm saying? Admonition number 4. A prayer, the language of the heart, is the center of a humble life. Fear not. Never stop believing. Never stop dreaming. Remember, He is our eyes when we cannot see, our voice when we are unable to speak, and our faith when we need it expressed. Never stop believing. Never stop dreaming. Admonition number 6. Haven't we worshiped the God of poverty and scarcity long enough? You must decide that you will not be poor. Everybody put guns below. Decide. You must decide that you will not be poor. There's no philosophy that will help a man to succeed when he always doubts his ability to do so. There are multitudes of poor people in this country who have grown satisfied and comfortable to remain impoverished, and who have ceased to mount any assault to rise above their conditions. They may work hard, but mentally they have lost the hope, lost the edge, lost the expectation that will remove the bars that stand between them and their financial blessing. You will reach the direction in which you face. If you look towards poverty, toward lack, you will rest squarely in its grip. You must decide that you will not be poor. And admonition number 7, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 6. Abundance is your destiny. Rid yourself of the poverty mentality. Money goes wherever it is welcomed. Decide that you will be a good steward of the money that you possess, and as a result, more money will be added unto you. Abundance is my destiny. Good things are supposed to happen to me. Now, mind yourself, you say, man, what if this was the seed that was implanted into your spirit as Miss Brown was planting into her son when you were growing up? What if this was the financial literacy lesson, so to speak? Let's keep reading. Considering his family's plight, Brown listened intently. His mother's words did more than ignite a spark. Her preaching lit a fire. It then dawned on Brown that there was a way to end the continuous cycle of financial hardship for his family. Now, on a mission, Brown set a goal to finish school and, of all things, go to college before returning home to launch a business and provide the type of stability his family sorely needed. A recruiter from Southern Illinois University, SIU, saw something in Brown, who was long on commitment but short on grades, and sliding him on a special admissions program contingent that he earned at least a B average his freshman year. Although he arrived on campus with only $25 in a wicker chair, Brown couldn't care less. Eager to leave his past behind, he gazed at the broad Gothic buildings in a daze. Under normal circumstances, he shared, I wasn't supposed to be there. I was a child of teenage, out of wedlock parents. I was a welfare recipient, an inner center nomad. But thanks to my mother's counsel, I was determined to prove my worth. By the time May rolled around, I finished my first year with a 3.15 grade point average, and SIU accepted me into general admissions. How many guys this morning you realize it's time for you to leave your past behind? What's going on? Doctor is in the house. Dr. Weatherby is in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining here today. Let's see what you guys put up here in these comments, man. That's right, man. Love yourself. That's right. Abundance and love for all. Rise above. Absolutely. Man, incorporate in our spirit, be an optimist. Seize the moment. Life has no limits. Rise above. We have been blessed by a mighty God. Power of my example. The power of my example. Decide I will not be poor. Right? Decide I will not be poor, right? I will not be poor. Abundance is my destiny. Abundance is my destiny. Opportunity comes knocking. Opportunity comes knocking. New Black Wall Street Book Club. Let's keep reading. Now, 4 years later, Brown graduated with a degree in food and nutrition and ambition to own his own restaurant. And the first step to realizing that goal, a full-time position with a blue-chip food service company. But moonlighting as a waiter at a local Chicago bistro provided the keys to his future. A chance meeting in the late 1990s with a high-ranking executive eventually changed his life. Edie Waddell and her husband were regular customers at the upscale restaurant, and Brown had served them often. They were impressed with his professionalism as well as his attention to detail. After dining one evening, Brown presented her husband a check, and Waddell, in turn, offered her business card. "You're the type of individual we want at McDonald's," she explained. "All I ask is for your trust." Waddell was swiftly climbing the corporate ladder with this fast food giant. Her timing couldn't have been better. Through previous conversations, she knew of Brown's desire to own a restaurant. After his initial training at McDonald's corporate headquarters, she suggested that he take over one of McDonald's corporate stores. Despite its location in the Chicago suburbs, the store underperformed. The current manager offered every excuse in the book for a soft bottom line, but Brown knew better. Intensely driven, within the first 2 weeks, Brown sat down with every employee and asked for his or her input. After implementing a few of their suggestions, he made other subtle changes. He purchased new uniforms for his crew and insisted that everything be in tip-top condition. Restrooms would be clean and tidy. Windows would be spotless. Counters would sparkle, and the surrounding lawn and flowers would bloom. In the dining room, 2 antiquated televisions hung from the ceiling. Not only were they inoperable, they were eyesores. Brown replaced them with state-of-the-art flat screens. Also, an old magazine rack sat empty in the lobby. Instead of hanging magazines and newspapers, he brought a throw rug and beanbag chairs from the local Walmart and transformed the space into a children's reading area. As a result, sales soared, customer service improved, and his team took pride in their work. In short order, the franchise came to life. At a minimum, his staff knew they were led by a manager who preferred human service over customer service. Brown not only demanded performance, but he quickly became known as someone who rolled up his sleeves and worked side by side with his employees. I want to say this again. In short order, the franchise came to life. Now notice that Brown, this is a depiction of what he did in a restaurant. But this also can correlate to some things that we might need to do in our own life. Some things that are old that need to get rid of. Some things that are inoperable that we need to replace. So that our franchise, our life, our future, our dreams can come to life. I want you to think about this for a moment as you consider what you need to do to spark the ignition in your life, to bring forth anew things that were once old as you leave some of those things in the past. If there was to be an overview of your conduct and your behavior and your relationships, are there some that just need to go or be replaced or cleaned up so that your franchise can come to life? Opportunities flex Brown's way. Opportunities flew Brown's way. 6 months later, Waddell was promoted to director of the entire Michigan region, and it wasn't long before she contacted Brown with the offer of a lifetime. At age 35, Brown obtained a loan through Fleet Bank of Boston to consummate a deal that brought his dream to fruition, becoming the youngest owner-operator in history of the franchise. Waddell invited me to fly to Detroit and select 2 stores, he recalls. As I look back at every position I held, whether it be Aramark or Wendy's or Marriott, Lorenzo's Bistro, or even McDonald's, I consider each opportunity as a paid internship. Each challenge created character, contacts, and relationships. Regardless of the roadblock, you can't focus on what you're going through, only on what you are going to do. Regardless of the roadblock, you can't focus on what you are going through, only what you're going to do. His inauspicious start in life might have discouraged most people, but not Ken Brown. His welfare to faring well story rivals the best that Hollywood has to offer, ending with a man so passionate about his life's mission that he dives into storytelling and seldom comes up for air. He is excited, and understandably so. It is Brown's hope to use his portfolio, by which now includes both restaurants and hotels, to make a difference by sharing his guiding principles. Brown hopes to spread his formula for wealth creation to all who will listen. The starting point to all growth and development rests with a decision. The decision that you make can alter the course of your life forever. Brown hopes to spread his formula for wealth creation to all he will listen. And you know what I found? As I've come across successful people in life, that most, if not all, are willing to share their formula to all who will listen. The problem is, most people are not willing to listen. Most people haven't learned how to listen. But yet they want the fruits of the labor without the labor. The starting point of all growth and development rests with a decision. You simply you start with deciding. Deciding what you're going to do, where you're going to go, what you're going to have. It starts with a decision. Woo! I'm eager to leave my past poverty far behind me. Great morning to you, Miss Sanders. How are you, Mr. Tony Searight? Good morning to you, Cleveland, Ohio. I will never quit. I will succeed. Absolutely. This last section here, guys, was going through the wealth choice, the success secrets of Black millionaires, written by Dr. Dennis Kimbro. The new rules of money. The new rules of money. The law that guides the thinking of the rich. The law that guides the thinking of the rich. New Black Wall Street Book Club. Let's keep reading. In his own words, you have witnessed one man's legacy, a roadmap for the suffering as well as the successful to reach those places within the soul that give life meaning. Here's one individual's overarching testimony that would give any pause, and it all began by mastering the greatest skill. Do you wish to become wealthy in one generation? If so, you'll be forced to nurture the courage to make a decision that sooner or later all millionaires have reached. The reason that so few of us are financially independent is due in part to the negative mental roadblocks that have been placed in our minds. I suggest that you hold fast to the second law of wealth. And here it is. Decide now that you will not be poor. Decide now that you will not be poor. The second law of wealth, once again, decide now that you will not be poor. The conviction that we are poor and must remain so is fatal to humanity. As long as we envision despair, we shall never arrive at the gates of delight. As long as our state of mind anticipates hard luck or reconciles misfortune, broods over shortcomings, and dwells on lowly conditions while minimizing all that is divine, penny pitching and tough times will follow as surely as an architect's blueprint precedes the foundation. The Winfreys, the McFarlands, the Browns, and the Roberts think wealth, and they get it. And repeat this again. As long as we envision despair, we shall never arrive at the gates of delight. As long as our state of mind anticipates hard luck, reconciles misfortune, broods over shortcomings, and dwells on lowly conditions while minimizing all that is divine, penny pitching and tough times will follow as surely as an architect's blueprint precedes the foundation. The Winfreys, the McFarlands, the Browns, and the Roberts think wealth, and they get it. When you make up your mind that you are done with poverty forever, that you will not entertain a single unproductive thought, that you're going to erase every trace of this debilitating disease from your dress, your appearance, your demeanor, your decorum, your speech, your actions, your home, that you're going to show the world your true mettle, that you will no longer conduct your affairs in an apologetic, stooping, slipshod manner, as if you lack confidence or ability, that you will adhere to the words of the master who admonished us to turn the other cheek and squarely and persistently face a life of plenty, of power, of prayer, and untold riches. Here lies the very heart of a wealth consciousness, the conversion process. This outlook converts spenders into savers, the non-banked or unbanked into banking customers, renters into homeowners, entrepreneurial hopefuls into business owners, and the economically uneducated into the financially literate. This outlook helps people help themselves and creates wealth in the process. Before you can become a millionaire, you must learn to think like one. You must decide. And it need not take 10 years to make the leap. Those individuals who have left their mark on the world of wealth and commerce have been men and women who possess the ability to render prompt decisions. Nothing will provide greater confidence than the reputation of promptness. The individual who is trapped by indecision, ever juggling two opinions, forever debating which course to pursue, cannot control him or herself, let alone his or her financial future. In contrast, the man or woman of prompt and calculated decision does not wait for favorable circumstances. To hesitate is to be lost. In fact, those who are forever shuffling and procrastinating, weighing and balancing will never rise above minimum wage. No, it need not require a lifetime in order to make the leap. Everybody put in the console, make the leap. Throughout my focus groups, millionaires who transitioned from paycheck to paycheck to a life of affluence replied that the process took less than 5 years. Furthermore, shifting from affluence to a 7-figure income on average required an additional 3 to 4 years. However, clearing the big leap, jumping from weekly paycheck to millionaireship demanded 9 to 10 years of focus, effort, grit, and determination. And yes, you, the reader, you must choose to make this change. In all likelihood, this task is similar to the diet you've scheduled to start, or the marathon you hope to run, or the poor habits that you plan to break, and the money you wish to save. Here lies a choice that you must confront each day. If you are driven to reach your financial potential, you must expand your wealth consciousness and belief system and assume the part it demands. You must decide that poverty has no place within your life. No one can achieve prosperity while it's in the still moments envisioning poverty. It's up to you, the reader, to decide whether you will conquer poverty once and for all. The road to abundance does not lie on private property. Anyone who chooses can walk it. Prosperity begins in the mind, but ends in the purse. Prosperity begins in the mind, but ends in the purse. And here's our millionaire lesson number 2. Abundance is your destiny. Rid yourself of the poverty mentality. Money goes wherever it is welcomed. Decide that you will be a good steward of the money you possess. As a result, more money will be added unto you. Now, maybe some things for you to consider this morning, right? That to make the shift to accept the goodness of the Lord, that abundance is your destiny. To rid yourself of any self-limiting beliefs as it relates to your mentality, to understand that you can welcome the floodgates to open unto you. And I think right here is where many of us get messed up, understanding that first I must take care of what already comes into my household. I must get that straight. Be a good steward of what I do possess. Because if I'm already a bad steward, then if anything else comes in, I'm going to waste that too. But if you are a good steward of what you already possess, you're a good steward of the money that comes into your household, then you are prepared. You are ready to be able to manage more. Now, what I find very interesting, especially for many of us Black folks that happen to be spiritual in nature, we tend to discount or dismiss these universal laws that if we just simply implemented them into our life, we would have the results that we might want. Decide. 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 In the comments below, I'd love for you to share something that was your takeaway from this morning. 6 admonitions from a mother to her son that helped him go from poverty to prosperity. And you and I can be on the same track if we would accept and implement these disciplines into our life. We talked about opportunity knocking on the door and that chance that you may need to take, or that what you may need to do in your life so that your franchise, all that is about you, can come to life. And we also had our millionaire lesson number 2, talking about laws that guide the thinking of the rich and making a decision that you will not be poor. Here's the beautiful thing about making decisions. When you make a decision, it begins to force you internally to also change your ways, whatever that may be for you. Right? Because I've decided that this is where I'm going, then internally it's like a little scope. It's saying, okay, what parts of my life, what parts of my habits, what parts of my relationships, what parts of my viewpoint, my mentality need to adjust so that it matches up with the decision I made for the direction that I'm going for my future. That's how it's supposed to work. That's how it really does work, when you don't just say it, but you actually believe what you say. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Because a lot of times you can go to church, you can hear a good message and all that good stuff, and the the preacher, the teacher, whatever, can get you to do some stuff, to get you in the moment, to get you in the spirit. But it's more than just what you say, it's what you believe about what you say. That's why sometimes the words that you say have no power, because there's no belief behind it. Let me calm down just a little bit this morning. But when there's power, the resolve about what you say about your life, when you really, really believe it down to the core of your heart, then it becomes reality for you. That's where faith becomes the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Oh, he preaching now. Woo! Comments, Lord, I'd love for you to share your takeaway from this morning, because I don't do this just to do this. You know, I'm 30 minutes a day to keep broke and stupid away. I can do that myself. No, I do it. No, number one, to show our people that Black folk do read, and just come along with me and read some of the stuff that I read, and maybe that'll change your life as well. But I do it to make a difference. And hopefully there's been a difference. There's been a seed that's been planted into your spirit today. I'm simply asking you to answer this question in the comments below. Was this worth your time? And why? Reading Rainbow 2.0. Take a look. It's in a book. And the book that we're reading today is The Wealth Choice: Success Secrets of Black Millionaires, written by Dr. Dennis Kimbro. You can find the book by simply going to the website www.denniskimbro.com, www.denniskimbro.com. Let's catch up on these comments, man, and we'll close this thing out, man. Make the leap. Absolutely. Yes, Ms. Goodrich, I am going on at 10 a.m. I got another 10 a.m. That'll be my crypto class. You guys can tune in to that as well. Abundance is my destiny. Ross is a boss. Be a good steward of what you already possess. Get your current stuff together. I can do it. I can accomplish it. Absolutely. Wealth, absolute. People needs to make money. I hear that. Universal laws, man, no matter what it looks like, how disappointed you may get, choose wealth and a wealthy mindset. That's right, Mr. Baylor, man. Preaching this morning. I hear that. Preach on. Never give up or give in, man. That's right, man. Glenda Tate Williams. Power. Right? I know that's right. Absolute morning motivation. Absolute appreciate you, man. My Miss Mocha. Yes, it's always worth my time. That's right. My wealth is to make my own business. I hear that. That's what I'm talking about. Sadly, I learned that at the conversion process is where the magic happens. That's right, man. I overlooked at the conversion process. Right, is where the magic happens. This is the New Black Wall Street Book Club, where Black folk do read. You put in the book like The Wealth Choice by Dr. Dennis Kimbro, and we absolutely will find it. I'm your host, ERGJ, and I want you guys to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
The new Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We will see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street.